Welcome to the Colonel Baker home, a symbol of Cranbrook's rich heritage and the vision of one of its founding fathers, Colonel James Baker. Built in 1896, this remarkable home stands as a testament to the legacy of a man whose influence helped shape the very foundation of Cranbrook. Colonel Baker, originally from Gloucestershire, England, was a British Army officer and later a key figure in the British Columbia legislature. As a member of Parliament, he played a critical role in establishing Cranbrook as a central hub for the Canadian Pacific Railway. The Colonel Baker home was more than just a residence. It served as a focal point for his work and a gathering place for the community. Built with a traditional Victorian design, the home reflects the elegance and grandeur of the era, with intricate woodwork and timeless architectural features that have stood the test of time. Designated as a heritage site, the Colonel Baker home remains one of the few remaining examples of late 19th century architecture in Cranbrook. It has evolved over the decades, adapting to the city's growth while maintaining its historical significance. From a private residence to its current role as a commercial building, the home continues to be a landmark of both the city's history and its future. Located within the serene surroundings of Baker Park, the Colonel Baker home offers a rare combination of natural beauty and central convenience. Picture yourself surrounded by the tranquility of mature trees, the sound of a nearby creek, and the frequent visits from local wildlife, all while being just steps away from the heart of Cranbrook. This location truly offers the best of both worlds. As a landmark property, the home is not only positioned in one of Cranbrook's most scenic areas, but it's also a short walk from the city's main attractions, making it a prime location for business and leisure alike. For those who value a peaceful environment, while still wanting to stay connected to the pulse of the city, this property offers an unparalleled setting. The balance of nature and convenience is hard to find, making the Colonel Baker home a truly unique opportunity. The Colonel Baker home is a meticulously maintained piece of history. Fully restored in 1984 by the Canadian Museum of Rail Travel, the building received a new foundation, all new electrical, and upgraded commercial-grade heating and cooling systems. Fully leased to 6 long-term tenants, the building offers 4,550 square feet of space across 3 levels. Inside, there are 13 individual treatment rooms or offices, 3 bathrooms, a common foyer, an extra-large reception room, a staff room, and a massive 60-foot by 8-foot secure storage area. With 2 public entrances, a separate staff entrance, and parking for over 20 vehicles, the Colonel Baker home is both practical and inviting. Its character-filled spaces and modern functionality make it the ideal property for professionals and business owners alike.
I think one of the highest uses for the building would be actually somebody who wants to be in the building. If you were to just look at it like any other commercial building and look at the rents, especially since I haven't really been that aggressive a landlord, the numbers probably wouldn't make that the optimal use. But for somebody who wants to be in that building, whether they're a health professional or they want to, the zoning on the building is really quite wide. There's been all kinds of enterprises in the building. Even the parking. As a chiropractor, you had people that were often in there for a half hour. The massage therapists, their clients are in there for over an hour. The fact that you can just drive into a park and park and know that you're not having to sit there and plug a meter or worry about a meter, that's really cool. The scenery and just the pulse of the park itself is just charming, and it's nice, and the city takes care of the landscaping all around you. We regularly have people asking if we have any space in the building because everybody knows where the Colonel Baker house is. The parking is fantastic. Even the people from out of town, it's easy to find. You say it's by the city campground, and it's just it's a easy place to run a business. It's an easy place to manage whatever the flow is of your customers or clients in and out. And some of those things are pretty tough to find, and especially in a town where sometimes you have to drive around a couple of times around the block just to find a parking spot. I think it would be a fantastic building for somebody like a lawyer that maybe needed a lot of storage space for extra files, but wanted to have the mortgage paid off with some other tenants. I get kind of a kick out of knowing that at one point that this was all there was to Cranbrook, and then everything that you see now, Cranbrook as it is right now, has grown around it. It just feels like such a cool piece of history. And I had a really great chapter in there, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the next chapter will be under the next steward.
Owning the Colonel Baker home is more than just acquiring a piece of real estate. It's about owning a part of Cranbrook's rich history and securing a future in one of British Columbia's most vibrant and rapidly growing cities. With Cranbrook experiencing unprecedented growth in recent years, its population has surged by over 9% since 2016, with foreign investment and a real estate market that has seen property values rise by nearly 30% in just the last 5 years.
Well, if you're watching this video and you're already in the East Kootenays, I'm going to be preaching to the choir here, but the East Kootenays are an amazing place to live. If you haven't been to the Cranbrook or you're not that familiar with the area, sometimes you go into a town and it seems like its best days are behind it. I think it's exactly the opposite with Cranbrook. When I moved here 30 years ago, what seemed to be the trend was people were in the East Kootenays, and if you were here for lifestyle, you either had your place in Cranbrook and you recreated in Kimberley, which is just 20 minutes away, or you lived in Kimberley and you commuted here for work. But just in the last 3-5 years, Cranbrook just feels really different. There's just more music here, there's more pulse here. And as far as the outdoor stuff goes, our trail system, which means you can mountain bike, hike, e-bike, snow bike, snowshoe, has just expanded exponentially. I think Cranbrook's got this sort of hockey stick-like curve, and I think its very best days, I think we're just seeing the tip of the sword. There's so many people moving to this area for lifestyle, and it's starting to feel like that vibe that we used to feel in Kimberley.
With its rich heritage, prime location, and the potential to generate rental income from existing tenants, the Colonel Baker home is a rare opportunity for investors and business owners alike. Imagine running your own practice in a historic building, all while offsetting your expenses with rental income from a community of like-minded tenants. This is a chance to establish your business in a charming and iconic property that's deeply rooted in the fabric of Cranbrook. As Cranbrook continues to grow and attract new residents, investors, and professionals, the Colonel Baker home stands as a sound investment for both your business and your future. Don't miss your chance to own a piece of history in one of BC's fastest-growing cities, where opportunity and adventure come together in the heart of the Rockies.